Hello Lilith. So I just came on just because I wanted to pop on and I don't know, just wanted to make a video. So I'm going to put just a little bit of gel on right here so I can, on the bottle, so that I can easily glide it in. I don't put thick globs on. I try to thin it out around so that he doesn't get any access in. I haven't fed him in a while. But yeah. So I did warm up his his bottle today. Because it's something about when they drink the water and it's warm and it come out, then it just really feels real. Whoa. The Willows drink pretty fast. I think Bella did too, which was Tate. I think she drank pretty fast as well. But my Jade kind of she drank fast, but she didn't wet fast. That's what I should say. It was like she had a reservoir and it was like a time release, which was pretty cool. Especially if you're, like for me, when I was like home and I would do it like on the weekend, I would have to check and see if she's wet throughout, you know, after I've changed her for the next couple hours. I would do that and I really like that. But I think Claire stopped doing that just because, you know, I think as collectors, you know, we talk and we complain about this and we complain about that, and then, you know, things change. You know, the artist will change stuff. But I don't know why she changed it, but it was pretty cool. I did kind of be like, oh God, I hope I don't forget and leave it. Dang it, I never bring him a freaking bib. I did used to, trying to see, I got something right here. What was I saying? Oh, I did used to worry that, you know, I make sure I don't forget to change her. So I guess maybe that was a little concern for the artist and they stopped doing it. But I really like those because those are really realistic, especially if you don't have children and you really want that real life experience. It's pretty cool because babies do, especially when they do a pooping, you'll change their diaper and right after you change it, they're not done yet. Oh my gosh, some of that water just ran to the back anyway. Oh my goodness, mama just made a mess. Okay, maybe he full and maybe he just can't take no more. No, that's the other thing. Because it comes straight out, he can take a lot more. But he drank it quite a bit. Let me see how many ounces. He just drank almost 3 ounces. So that was a lot. And he's on his sister. Oh, yep, he's drooling. He's on his sister blanket. Yeah, I'm on my April sister, Alex, blanket. I thought it was his, but I forgot I packed all his stuff back in his box, his originals. And hers was still out. And then I looked and it said April. And I said, shoot. It's not. It's like, oh man. But, oh guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe now. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. And he is wet. I'm going to take him off, take him out of this for right now. Dang, I really like him in this blue. I'm going to have to take him out of it though. Whoa. All right, little boy, let me get you out this sweatshirt. Thank you. Thank you, mommy, for getting me all wet. Oh, let me tell y'all guys what was so funny. So I was sitting here and I was just holding him before, because I was like, should I do a video? Should I not do a video? But either way, I wanted to hold him. So I was sitting here and just holding him and looking at him, stuff like that. Something, you know. I don't do it with all babies, but some of the ones that I really, really love, I do sit and I will just look at them. Just admiring the artist's work. And even if it's my own, I will sit there and just look at it and see what I could do differently. Usually when I'm looking at my own like that, it's usually I'm usually trying to see what I could have done better or different. But with others, I'm admiring their work. But he had a little piece of like thread. It was a little piece of thread, and it went right there by his ear. And it got right there in the little, where your little hole of your ear be, where you usually stick the Q-tip. Oh my God. And for the first time I noticed he actually have like eardrums. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I was sitting there trying to carefully get this before it goes down in his ear. And it was so funny. But it was just funny that he actually have that Claire actually sculpted him to have that hole. Like he doesn't, I mean, she sculpted him so realistic. Like everything is just so realistic. I just love, I love when artists get the proportions right and they just sculpt them to be as realistic as possible. And it makes a big difference when you're handling the baby, the way they come across, like especially when you do videos, it's major the way they come across. You know, I see a lot of, let me get him out of this wet diaper first. I see a lot of collectors, like, I don't want to say saying, I see a lot of collectors that kind of mislead other collectors, and it does us no favor. Because for me, and like I said it 1,000 times before, even though a lot of people may not like me for this, but I'm very honest. I don't care if it's Claire Teller. I don't care if it's Romy. I don't care who it is, you know, myself. I don't care. I'm very honest about my opinions and or what I'm thinking. I don't pre-record. Like I don't come up with a script. I make my videos as I go, and when something happened or I see something, I just say it and I don't edit it out for the most part. I've gotten to a point where I've tried to edit stuff, but for the most part, I really don't edit my videos. If I edit something, I'm adding something to it, like pictures or something at the end, or, you know, some music or something like that. But as far as, you know, editing to the point of trying to make something look better than what it is, I'm not doing that. And I love the artist, and of course I do. Now don't get me wrong, it's a difference in when, you know, you're trying to make sure it come across the camera the way it looks in person, you know, and you're trying to make it look right, versus you know it ain't right and you're trying to cover it up. It's not good. Because I look, for me, with these silicone babies, they're so expensive, and when I look at, and I'm considering a sculpt, I do prefer to look at video, because with silicone, it's not just about what the baby look like, it's what they feel like, it's what they move like. And so movement is important, and it's very important. And so I think some people are going to be very, you know, sometimes people can be very misleading. And look, say, see, look at this. Did y'all just see Claire Taylor do this in her new baby video where she lay them down like that? They will. The softness is unreal on these babies. Sculpting matters too. Like he can, you know, bend a little, you know, in the core part, but it's definitely a lot to do with the way she sculpted him as well. Because I noticed he does have a little bit more flexibility than the Tate and the Sage in the stomach area. And I think it's because the way she sculpted the stomach area a little bit different than she did the other ones. And if you want to see this little wrinkle, damn wrinkle, it's amazing. And another thing, a lot of people talk about wrinkling. With Claire Taylor dolls, it's not just about the wrinkle. And I think people have took that and ran with it and like, oh, my doll wrinkles. It's not about just the wrinkle. The way she paints, it's almost like she paints knowing where the wrinkle's gonna go. Because I don't know, if you see her dolls in person, you'll know what I'm talking about. When it wrinkles, it's almost like the coloring just match perfectly the way it would look on a real person. I don't know how to explain it. Like when your skin folds, it looks different than when it's straight out, if that makes sense. So try to fold your skin and see how it, and that's the way it looked on her doll. So it's painting and the wrinkling, the combination that goes with it. It's just, she's a very talented artist. I will say that. So like I said, you know, I always wish all my artists well. But you know, if I have feedback, like if I buy a baby or I'm interested in a baby, and you know, different artists, different sculptors are more open. I you know, when I buy, you know, like I said, when I buy a baby and I will give feedback, you know. But I mean, if I'm not buying it, it's none of my business to really give feedback. And I have, and it did help, you know, some of them a lot. But I had bought from them before. You know what I mean? I don't know. But it's like, I try to be, I guess, you know, everybody have their own purpose of, you know, videos, you know, and being a YouTube creator and stuff like that. I came on for box openings. That's what I started out as. Then I started having where I would get babies that I spent all this money on and it wasn't what I wanted them to be or I thought they were going to be. And then I realized that there was nowhere to kind of help people. And then I started just, you know, talking about my experiences, and then people wanted to hear that, and I kind of went with the flow of my audience and what they wanted to hear. But then I feel like, I will be completely honest with you guys, I feel like that kind of took over my channel. It kind of became more of what I was doing than really enjoying feeding and, you know, interacting with my dolls. And so too much of anything isn't good, basically. I became where, you know, all I was ever doing was telling people what they should and should not do and what to look for and all that. And it kind of take away from the fun of things. But, you know, when I do tell you guys something, if I'm not sure, I'm not going to say it. And if I say something, or I will tell you, I don't know enough about that to talk about that. But it breaks my heart to see when people intentionally mislead other collectors. And you know, sometimes it's not, you know, sometimes it's not intentional. Sometimes you get caught up in the hype of a box opening and you just kind of don't think about it, and then, you know, after a couple days you start thinking, shoot, dang, I thought I brought his, God, I thought I brought his brush and hairspray. I haven't did his hair in a long time. Oh well, I'll do it off camera, because I'm not gonna use that brush. But yeah, sometimes you get caught up in the hype, and you do it, and you know, and then you kind of like, dang, man, I've already said this or said that, you know, that happens. But yeah, but I'm just saying, I'm mostly talking about silicone babies because they're the most expensive, but it also applies to reborns as well. But silicones are just so expensive, and I just feel like this is for fun, this is for sharing, but it's also an information source for a lot of people when they're getting ready to purchase, and a lot of people know that too. So that's just like, you know, people like, oh, you're promoting, you know, Claire Taylor, you're promoting, you know, Yogi or whoever, when you show their products on that. Well, here's the thing. I know that when we put these babies on the channel, whether we want to promote the artist or not, as soon as we say the artist's name, the sculpt, we show the doll, we're doing a form of marketing or advertising for the artist, you know, whether we like it or not. So when I get a baby that I'm not happy with, you guys will never see it usually. Or especially if I'm highly disappointed. Now, if it's something that is like, okay, it's a preference, a personal preference, that's different. But I'm not gonna also lie and, you know, over exaggerate it either. You know, like, say for instance, if I didn't like, I don't know, let's say I didn't like the arm. Oh my gosh, it has the most beautiful arms. Doing dang on well. It's the worst part of the doll. You know, I'm not gonna do that, but I will see people doing stuff like that, and I just be like, oh my gosh, when these people get their own doll, they're gonna be so mad. They're gonna be so mad. Anyway, but I'm a picky, like I've said 1,000 times, I'm a picky collector, and that's just, you know, I'm just very picky, and you know, what I like and what someone else may like is, you know, what may be acceptable to me or not acceptable to me may be okay with someone else, and vice versa, because I'm funny about a lot of little weird things. I think some of the things that people think will bother me don't bother me. Like, I don't have a problem if I have a shine spot somewhere, okay? I don't want a whole bunch of shine spots, and I don't want a shiny doll. But if I get a doll and I have a shine spot somewhere, I'm not gonna flip, you know, I'm not gonna flip out. If I have, you know, I mean, I'm not as picky about certain things that I know this is art, you know. Everything is not gonna be 100% perfect. I'm more particular about, like, just like how he cuddles in you know, positions right. I'm more concerned about that than looks and all that. And I guess, you know, I guess that's why people say, you know, sometimes people be like, oh, the dolls are ugly, blah 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 blah. Well, I'll do ugly if it's a realistic ugly. I don't want to do funny looking ugly and unrealistic ugly. If it's looking like a cartoon character on a SpongeBob body, I can't do it, you know. And then some people get caught up, they just like the face. It could be looking like Jodie and the Blowfish with a cute face. I don't even know who Jodie and the Blowfish is, but it just sounded right. I don't know. But some people just like the face. So, you know, that's why I can't stress it enough. I'm getting a lot of people asking me, what should they buy? What should they do? I can't tell you that, guys. You gotta get what you like. You gotta get what you love. You know what you like and what bothers you and what don't. I don't. If you listen to me, you're gonna be waiting a long time to bring home a baby, because that's how I am. And I'm very, very picky. And that's why, as you've seen over the years, I've been stuck buying Claire Taylor dolls, or the only other doll I had was, you know, a Lillian Breedfield doll. I don't go after every one of Lillian's doll. I don't go after every one of Claire dolls. I don't go after every one of nobody dolls. But I will have to say, hands down, Claire Taylor is always going to be my most favorite sculptor. And well, you know, somebody else may come along. I shouldn't say that, but for right now, she's always been my most favorite sculptor, artist, because overall she has the full package. Not perfect. Some babies, like I say, I don't like, you know, but she's always doing something, giving us something new, giving us something different, giving us a new face. You know, it's pretty cool. Bonnie Brown, same thing. Love her to pieces. Lillian Breedville, I love her faces most of the time. Her bodies fluctuate. Sometimes I love the body style, sometimes I don't. But overall, she's another artist that I really love. And who else? Like I said, I really enjoyed the Alina Westbrook baby. Being that she didn't respond to me when I was trying to get a blank kit from her, I shouldn't even be really even mentioning it. But I did enjoy the silicone pour, was really nice and everything. So there's other artists out there, but for me, you know, I just felt safe with Claire Taylor, because, you know, she has a long-standing reputation. You know, her work kind of speaks for itself. And I mean, there's people out here, real collectors out here, that has had her work for many, many years, and the babies are still intact. Still, no, you know, matting is good, everything is working good on it. You still have all the hair. That to me speaks volume. Now, of course, you can't control when you got a particular ring of people that every doll that come out of their collection is damaged. That's a different story. I mean, you know, when, you know, then you kind of start to wonder, it's not really the artist, it's the collector. The babies definitely have to be being mishandled when every single doll you get got an issue. That's kind of, yeah, that kind of says it ain't me, it's you type situation. But, you know, and I see that going on as well. But, you know, that's everybody else's business. It does make it a little scary for second market, though, when those dolls kind of pollute the second market. Because when I say pollute the second market, because once all these dolls get distributed out into hands of others, and you lose track of where it's coming from, and you go to buy a doll second market and you don't realize that it was with this collector or that collector who doesn't have a good reputation of taking care of their dolls, you might end up with one of those dolls, and it kind of sucks. For us that's very particular about our dolls, it sucks really bad, because we freak out more than the average collector, because we're used to what we're used to getting when we buy directly from the artist. So, you know, you're not gonna take some of these, most of the, and I don't put myself in their category, and let's be clear on that, because these people have Romy Stridhams and Claire Taylor's out the yin yang, and Joanna K and whoever else that, you know, actually Joanna K is not even in that bracket. She might be getting in there now, but she wasn't in the bracket when I first came in as far as up there. It was only, it's only been really Romy and Claire Taylor that's been, you know, the big names that's really, really up there. There's other artists that are great and up there, but I mean, you know, anyway, popular and most people know the names. Joanna K is trying to climb the charts. But I'm just saying, when you people that these people are used to having multiple of these dolls, and so they're very used to getting, you know, the dolls straight from the artist and very da da da. So when they get something and it's not right, it's like it's the whole shenanigan. It's like you just ruin their whole world. That's, you know, that's just the way it is. And, you know, you may say, oh, it's in great condition, and your great condition isn't what our great condition is, because we know what to expect. So I don't know. And it, you know, anyway, I lost my train of thought because somewhere in there I felt like I needed to give an explanation of something I said, and that's what messed me up. And that's why I don't like to explain myself. But anyway, I don't want to be late, so I'm gonna go. It was nice chatting with you guys. This is a long video, and the reason why it's a long video is because you probably won't see a video from me for a couple days. So yeah, so you know, just be careful out here and enjoy your hobby, and, you know, find dolls that you love, and don't worry about what name is attached to them. As far as, you know, some names they are name brands for a reason, and it's mainly because of their quality, it's because of their work. It's not because of the artists themselves. It has nothing to do with that. But if you love something and you like it, go for it, you know, type thing. But, you know, sometimes that's a very tricky place too. When do you just buy it and don't even really give it too long of a thought, versus so that you don't miss out, versus when do you not be so impulsive? You know, that's a thin line. It's kind of like, okay, girl, you better jump on it. There's only 10 of those. Or, okay, I'm not going to be pressured in or rushed to make a decision type thing. You know, it's kind of like, you know. Anyway, let me get him on to lay down and do what all I have to do, my mommy duties. Right, Momo? Oh my goodness. Look at y'all. Oh, one sweet confession. If you made it to the end of the video, I'll tell you this one little sweet last confession. I love Noah with all my heart. But if I ever collect anything else, I would love to get another squishy belly. That's one of the features I always love. I love the squishy belly. I don't know what it is about the squishy belly, but I really love it. I know what it is, but that's the only thing for me that I think. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that, but another video, another time. Anyway, let me go before he wakes up. Later.